की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर शील प्रभुपाद की नामाचार्य शील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड श्री गिरिराज गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की हरिनाम संकीर्तन की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai Shri.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath Radhe. Jayo Shri Gopal, Shri Gopal, Shri Gopal, Jayo Shri Gopal. Jayo Gauranitai, 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 Jayo Gauranitai. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jayo Jayo Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajak Acharya Ashtottara Shata Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajak Acharya Ashtottara Shata Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudhiraye. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Krishnaya vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangriye. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 3 and verse number 3. Samahuta Bhishmaka Kanyayaye Shriya Savarnena Bubhushe Yesham Gandharva Vritya Mishatam Swabhagam Jare Padam Murtni Dadat Suparnaha. Samahuta Bhishmaka Kanyayaye Shriya Savarnena Bubhushya Yesham Gandharva Vritya Mishatam Swabhagam Jare Padam Murtni Dadat Suparnaha. Samahuta Bhishmaka Kanyayaye Shriya Savarnena Bubhushya Yesham Gandharva Vritya Mishatam Swabhagam Jare Padam Murtni Dadat Suparnaha. Matajis. So let us take the word by word meaning. Samahuta, invited. Bhishmaka, of King Bhishmaka. Kanyaya, by the daughter. Ye, all those. Shreya, fortune. Savarnena, by a similar sequence. Bhubhushaya, expecting to be so. Yesham, of them. Gandharva, in marrying. Vritya, by such a custom. Mishatam, carrying on, carrying so. Swabhagam, own share. Jare, took away. Padam, feet. Murdhni, on the head. Dadat, placed. Suparnaha, Garuda. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Attracted by the beauty and fortune of Rukmini, the daughter of King Bhishmaka, many great princes and kings assembled to marry her. But Lord Krishna, stepping over the other hopeful candidates, carried her away as his own share, as Garuda carried away nectar. Purport. Princess Rukmini, the daughter of King Bhishmaka, was actually as attractive as fortune itself because she was as valuable as gold, both in color and in value. Since the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, is the property of the Supreme Lord, Rukmini was actually meant for Lord Krishna, but Shishupal was selected as her bridegroom by Rukmini's elder brother, although King Bhishmaka wanted his daughter to be married to Krishna. Rukmini invited Krishna to take her away from the clutches of Shishupal. So, when the bridegroom Shishupal came there with his party with the desire to marry Rukmini, Krishna all of a sudden swept her from the scene, stepping over the heads of all the princes there, just as Garuda carried away nectar from the hands of the demons. This incident will be clearly explained in the 10th canto. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. sincerely seeking the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, especially Her Grace Rukmini Mataji, Srila Prabhupada's disciple. So we are on the third verse of the third chapter of the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And I think this is coming after almost 10 to 11 years. We are repeating what we started earlier. So I sincerely thank His Grace Radhika Vallabh Prabhu and Pavaneshwar Prabhu, who have given valuable inputs, and also whatever I am trying to say is based on the lecture given by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in the year 2014, about 10 years back, on the same topic of Rukmani's marriage to Krishna, and also from His Grace Chaitanya Leela Prabhu's Sunday feast lecture about in the year 2017. So now in this particular section of the Bhagavatam, it is a conversation between Uddhava and Vidura, two great stalwarts, two great devotees of the Lord and pure devotees. So naturally, when they speak, it is broadcasted in the Srimad Bhagavatam, because they are not ordinary. They are eternal associates of the Lord. So it makes very valuable reading and hearing. So here, in this current chapter, it is entitled The Lord's Pastimes Out of Vrindavan. So Uddhava is narrating the wonderful pastimes of Krishna, which he performed outside Vrindavan after he has already narrated some of the wonderful pastimes he performed in Vrindavan. So now, first it's explained that Uddhava remembers the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Krishna travels to Mathura, kills Kamsa, releases his parents, Devaki and Vasudeva. He goes to the ashram of Sandipani Muni, studies Vedas. As Guru Dakshina, he gets back the dead son of his Guru from Yamaloka. Now in the third verse, Krishna marries Rukmini in the Rakshasa style by kidnapping her from the midst of demons, demonic kings like Jarasandh, etc. And he is doing it just like Garuda snatching the pot of nectar from the demigods. Here, in just one verse, this entire episode of Krishna's marriage to Rukmini is compressed and given in one line. But as His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu always says, this is a password which can open a zip file. And as is mentioned in the very purport itself, the file is the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapters 52 and 53. So let us now open the zip file and go into the details of this wonderful, wonderful Leela, which is so purifying for all of us to hear and partake in. So this is from the Sunday feast lecture of His Grace Chaitanya Leela Prabhu, which was given on the 7th of May 2017. So what he has presented, I'm just summarizing it a little. So the outline of this entire pastime can be summarized in a comparison. And what is that comparison? The comparison is Rukmini is compared to the living entity or a devotee. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no comparison. He is beyond compare. Then Rukmi, the eldest brother of Rukmini, is compared to the devilish and a powerful mind. Shishupal, the personification of envy, is compared to the impure senses. And the Brahmana, who is a central character in this pastime, is compared to Guru. And of course, Jarasandh and party, all the envious kings envious of Krishna are considered to be an instrument in Krishna's hand who are placed as an obstacle. And why? That is explained later on. And what is the solution to the living entity? How to overcome these obstacles? The solution is given as faith in Guru, surrender to Krishna is the way for the living entity to live. So, having this brief summary, let us now take step by step. So, first we will discuss about Mother Rukmini. Rukmini is compared to a living entity. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 52, verse number 16 and 17, Sukadev Goswami is speaking to Maharaj Parikshit. And the translation of that verse is, O hero among the Kurus, that is, he means Parikshit, the Supreme Lord himself, that is Govinda, married Bhishmaka's daughter, Vaidarbhi, who was a direct expansion of the goddess of fortune. The Lord did this by her desire, and in the process he beat down Shalva and the other kings who took Shishupal's side. Indeed, as everyone watched, Sri Krishna took Rukmini just as Garuda boldly stole nectar from the demigods. So in the purport of this verse, Sri Rajiva Goswami comments, Shriya Matram indicates that beautiful Rukmini is a direct expansion of the eternal goddess of fortune. Also, Srimati Rukmini is a plenary portion of Srimati Radharani. And Skanda Puran states, Rukmini is in Dwarka what Radharani is in the forest of Vrindavan. The word Swayamvara indicates that Sri Krishna and Srimati Rukmini chose each other because of their eternal transcendental love. Srimati Rukmini is the internal potency of the Lord. Elsewhere, it's also mentioned that Chandravali's expansion is Rukmini, and Chandravali is considered the right wing gopi, and Radharani is considered the left wing gopi. What it means is, right wing means one who is always never opposing Krishna, very docile and surrendered. Whereas Radharani, she is the left wing gopi. She chastises Krishna, she will tease Krishna, she will sulk in front of Krishna when she wants to show her resentment or anger. So that is the Man Leela of Radharani. So that way, she is a more dominant kind of a gopi. But one thing is there, both of them are completely surrendered to Krishna. That is the hallmark of every devotee. And Radharani is the epitome of devotion. She is the strongest and the tallest of all the devotees. Rukmini was the daughter of King Bhishmaka. She had 5 brothers, Rukmi, Rukmaratha, Rukmabahu, Rukmakesha and Rukmamali. She had given her heart to Krishna by the process of Shravanam. But Rukmi wanted her to be married to Shishupal for political expediency. He didn't consider her choice, neither did he bother to ask his father. Rukmi, Shishupal, Jarasan, Viduratha, Dantavakra were all envious of Krishna, and Prabhupada has described this decision of Rukmi as an impure motive, or in short, ulterior motive. Rukmini decided no use talking to Rukmi. She was courageous, bold, would rather die than lose Krishna. She wrote a frank, clear letter begging Krishna to come and take her, that is, to steal her away. She chose a trusted Brahmana to personally carry the message to Krishna. There was no time to lose. It was a matter of urgency because the next day was her marriage. So the message of the living entity, the message to the living entities here is, do not procrastinate your surrender to Krishna. Bhakti is not for the fag end of your life. Act now. That is what Mother Rukmini is teaching each one of us. She is teaching by her example. It's interesting to note that even in the Ramayana, Sita was compared to a living entity when she asked Ram to go behind the golden deer. Oh, this is Maya, she was told. But then she did not yield to that. In fact, she also asked Lakshmana to follow. And then Ravana kidnaps her. So Acharyas give a purport to this. What do they say? When the living entity runs after illusion, gets kidnapped by the Maya force of the Supreme Lord. Ram was her dearmost for Sita, but the golden deer was illusion that was captivating her. So the living entity is cheated to give up the dearmost, that is God, for the illusory deer. That is the game of this world. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj gave a beautiful lecture on this topic in the year 2014. So he quoted from the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 53 and verses 13 to 17. So there, in that lecture, Rukmini, he says, Rukmini Devi is teaching us we should surrender to Krishna. How? Unconditionally. Exactly as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu states in the last verse of the Shikshashtakam. Ashlishyava padaratam pinashtumam adarshanam marmahatam karotu va yatha tatha va vidadhatu lampato mat prananathastu sa eva naparam. So he says in this verse of Shikshashtakam that whether, my Lord, you embrace me or you trample me under your feet, under both circumstances, I am your unconditional surrendered servant. I have no other shelter. You are my only shelter. That is unconditional surrender. So, Rukmini is not claiming to be qualified to be worthy of Krishna. She is willing to undergo untold tapasya and endlessly wait to be accepted, but will not settle for anyone else. Exactly the same sentiments. Maharaj explained, if Krishna gave us what we want easily, we will become complacent. When we face obstacles, then we go deep in our surrender, and then the Lord reveals Himself to the devotee. So that is actually a blessing. So He helps us develop true love. He does not want us to be just stuck to superficial love. He will take us deep inside. Rukmini is not angry. She is not demanding. She is humble, full of gratitude. She is not proud. Surrender has to be like Prahlad Maharaj, like the gopis, like the gopas, like Ambarish. Prahlad said, my Lord, if you want to kill me, I am ready. If you want me to live, I am yours. Unmotivated, uninterrupted devotion is what Krishna wants. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he exhibited the supreme Mahabhav, that is Radharani's bhav. So Srimad Bhagavatam culminates with Radha's love, the ultimate Ras Lila. The name Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam, is non-different from Krishna, not a symbolic representation. When Krishna left at the end of Dwapar Yuga, he advented as the Srimad Bhagavatam. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. In the year 1896, all this is what His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj has quoted. I am just repeating that. In 1896, the year of Prabhupada's birth, Bhaktivinoda Thakur sent the Srimad Bhagavatam's message in English to the Western world. That was actually a forerunner of what Prabhupada was to do in his life. Prabhupada told Shrutikirti Prabhu, his personal servant, if you read just this one book, Bhagavad Gita, At a later point he said, if you read just one chapter of this Bhagavad Gita, one shloka of the Bhagavad Gita, even one word of the Bhagavad Gita, your life will be perfected. This is Prabhupada himself has said. Why? Because he said, this Bhagavad Gita is not different from Krishna. Every word is Krishna's, not me. He said, I have not written this book. It has actually been dictated by Krishna. Krishna has written Bhagavad Gita as it is. He gave the entire credit to Krishna. And therefore he said, what is the potency of this book? So, and Maharaj explained, what is the meaning of understanding the Bhagavad Gita? It means realization. Not intellectual clarity, but it has to result in transformation after reading the Gita. We are in this age of information technology. So what is the mantra? Information, 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 no transformation. That is what is happening. People are actually polluted with information. But this book has made devotees the world over. That is the potency of the Bhagavad Gita as it is. If we have even a spark of faith, Krishna will make it a flame. That is Krishna's contribution. That is Krishna's mercy. We have to hear Bhagavad Gita with submission, with eagerness to know, and the desire to follow what we know. Pariprashnena sevaya. In that spirit, if we understand even one verse, we will know Krishna. And not because of our greatness, but we will know Krishna because Krishna chooses to reveal himself to one who dedicates himself to the study of Gita. Krishna heard Rukmani's prayers and she said, I am yours even if unqualified. If you do not come, it will be because of my shortcomings. She is not demanding. I will do penance. I will purify myself by chanting, by fasting and by serving in pure devotion. She is steeped in humility. Humility is the hallmark of Rukmani. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also in his beautiful bhajan says, Manas deho geho jo kuchu mora arpilo tuva pade nanda kishora. He is again bringing out the same sentiments. Rukmini is awake all night crying, has Krishna rejected me? Her left eye trembled, twitched in the morning. She saw the Brahmana come. He was peace personified. His very sight told her, Krishna has come. The slight smile on the Brahmana's face confirmed that Krishna has come. She was overjoyed, but not overjoyed because her plan is working, but she was full of gratitude to Krishna. Though she had poured her heart out in the letter, she had confessed that she loves him and she wants nobody else. She said, I am shamelessly writing this, but yet, now when Krishna has come, she is not proud, she is grateful. That is the hallmark. Prabhupada's books are Krishna's message. And so Maharaj says, be grateful to receive this message. To those who give you, now in turn you give it to others. That is book distribution. Distributing Krishna's love, Krishna's message, and for that, what do we need to do on our part? We need to crush our ego. We have to feel like Rukmini did. Push yourself. This is Prabhupada's, this is His Holiness Radhanath Swami's message in this, and it is very relevant for us now because we are in the midst of the book distribution and we are driving towards the close. We are coming to the climax. So now, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is the next topic that we are going to discuss. Having discussed about Rukmini Devi. So Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the natural pati for every living entity. Rukmini wants Krishna as her pati, but she is representing the living entity. And that's what she is telling. Krishna is the pati for every living entity. And in this connection, Chaitanya Leela Prabhu quoted a beautiful verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, chapter 4, verse number 20. Shriyapatir Yagyapatir Prajapatir Dhyam Patir Lokapatir Dharapatir Patir Gatis Chandaka Vrishni Satvatam Prasiditam Me Bhagavan Satam Patihi. So here it is explained, Shriyapati means the master of goddess, owner of all opulences. Yagyapati means Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam. He is the Pati of the Yagya process, director of all sacrifices. Prajapati, created Prajapatis like Brahma, leader of all living entities. Dhyampati, controller of intelligence. Lokapati, proprietor of all the planets. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Dharapati, lifted Mother Earth. Patir Gatis Satvatam means the glory of all kings like Andhaka and Vrishni of the Yadu dynasty. Satampati means worshipable Lord of all devotees. So this is the understanding of the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Then Rukmi. Rukmi is compared to the devilish mind. Very powerful. Balavad Dradam, that is what Arjuna says about the mind. The tendency of the uncontrolled mind is to take you away from Krishna. That is what Rukmi is representing. He wants Rukmini to marry Shishupal, not Krishna. Shishupal is the epitome of envy or the personification of envy. So he represents the impure senses. And the Brahmana, to whom Rukmini entrusted her message to Krishna, is compared to a guru in the life of a living entity. So Rukmini does not waste time talking to Rukmi, rather approaches the trusted Brahmana to carry her message to Krishna. A living entity should seek out a guru who can connect you to Krishna rather than submitting to their devilish mind or listening to one's mind affected by impure senses, that is by Shishupal. So let's go back to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj's lecture. Rukmini was so pleased with the Brahmana when he returned with Krishna. Her ornament, she felt, was not sufficient reward. So she bowed down to the Brahmana. Here Rukmini is compared to a living entity, devotee, Brahmana to Guru. So the living entity has to humble oneself with gratitude to the Guru to receive the grace of Krishna. Rukmini is also the internal potency of the Supreme God, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So a Brahmana is bestowed with the wealth of spiritual understanding. That is what her bowing down signifies, irrespective of material facilities. Brahma jane iti Brahmana. That is why Brahmanas are dear to Krishna. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha. He is the well-wisher and protector of cows and the Brahmanas. Now Shishupal was the bridegroom to be. But when Krishna arrived, all came to see Krishna. They didn't come to see Shishupal. So Krishna is all attractive. So all prayed, the entire subjects of Bhishmaka, they were praying, oh, Krishna is so beautiful. He is the right candidate to be the bridegroom for Rukmini, for our dear Rukmini. They all prayed with their heart and soul. Rukmini must be married to Krishna only and no one else. Now actually, Maharaj has taken a beautiful comparison. He is taking it to another level. He said, Ravana kidnapped Sita and held her captive for almost 10 months. He tried to persuade her and he tried everything. Samadama, Danda, Bhed, everything he tried. But nothing worked. He failed. Then Ram came, killed Ravan and released Sita and took her away. Now that same Ravan has come back as Shishupal. So he says it is repeat of the play. The date of marriage has arrived. Now Shishupal has come so closer. Ravan never came to the position of marrying Sita. But here the marriage between Shishupal and Rukmini has already been fixed. And the date of marriage has arrived. Now Rukmini's parents were all prepared for the marriage. Shishupal was excited and captivated by the beauty of Rukmini. The It's interesting to note that the ritual of visiting Ambika's temple, that is Durga Bhavani, Kula Devta, before the marriage was there, and Rukmani was escorted by the Brahmins and the wives chanting mantras. Even the Brahmins who were chanting the mantras were actually internally praying that Rukmani should get married to Krishna. And what to speak of the Brahmins? He says that even Bhishmaka was yearning that Rukmani should get married to Krishna. But Rukmi was the stumbling block. He was envious and arrogant and inconsiderate. So, in that particular lecture, Maharaj actually asked Braj Vihari Prabhu to speak the comparison that he had given in his lecture. And that is also very interesting to note. And that is, he says, Rukmi is considered as the powerful mind, Bhishmaka is considered as intelligence, and here the powerful mind is overruling the intelligence, and Rukmini is the devotee. And the devotee wants to serve Krishna, but the mind, Rukmi, wants to serve Maya, that is Shishupal. So, Rukmini, the devotee, took the help of the Brahmana Guru who connected her to Krishna. Devotees have to take shelter of a Vaishnava Guru. Ravana never came to the point of marrying Sita. Now Shishupal was standing and seeing Rukmini. He was excited. But what were Shishupal, Jarasandh, etc. seeing? They were not seeing the real Rukmini. They were not seeing the internal potency of Krishna. But they were seeing the Mahamaya Rukmini, dazzling in beauty. They were simply bowled over, they were zapped, though they were standing with sword in hand to prevent Krishna from taking away Rukmini. But what happened? This attack of Maya actually subdued them. They had been completely overwhelmed and they were not able to do the act for which they had come there. And what did Krishna do? Effortlessly, he told Rukmini to mount on her chariot and drove away right in front of their eyes. So it's also explained that Ravan tried to kidnap Sita, but he had to come in disguise. He could not do it in the presence of Ram or Lakshman either. But here, Krishna boldly came right in front of Shishupal and right in under his nose, he took away Rukmini. So this is the difference between the kidnapping that Ravan did and the kidnapping that Krishna did. So, she mounted the chariot and drove away with Krishna. Now he kidnapped Rukmani and Rukmani was supposed to get married to Shishupal. So that is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is Krishna's greatness? We know. He has exhibited it so many times. He was just a child few days old. He has not even crossed 1 month. At that time, how did he kill Putana? He only did what an infant can do, and that is suck the milk of the mother. Just by sucking the milk of the mother, he sucked the poison too, and he was not affected by the poison, and he sucked her life air. That is Krishna, the Supreme God. He doesn't have to become God, he is God always, under any circumstances. So that is what the bewildered souls have to understand, that you cannot compare to Krishna, you cannot come equal to Krishna, you cannot defeat Krishna. So there is only one relationship the living entity has with Krishna, and that is surrender to Krishna. That is the only relationship. So Jarasandh came and preached to him. This is a little humorous episode here. Jarasandh came and started preaching to Shishupal. And this was highlighted by Gaurang Prabhu also in his lecture. He said Jarasandh is the best preacher. Why is he the best preacher? Because even though Krishna killed Akshovihini Sainya, not one or two, Akshovihini means countless. And in each time Krishna encountered Jarasandh 17 times. All the soldiers were killed, all the horses were killed, all the elephants were killed. But Jarasandh is declared as the best preacher because even then he went out and brought so many others to fight. Even though they knew that everybody who fought was killed, but still they came. That is what our Gaurang Prabhu sarcastically said, Jai Jarasandh. So, but Krishna said, don't kill, he told Balram, don't kill Jarasandh. He is a very useful tool for us. He is gathering all the envious souls and bringing us for us so we can distribute prasadam at one place. Killed by Krishna is also mercy, that is also prasadam. And what happens to one who is killed by Krishna? He attains the best destination. So this is the sign of Dushkritino. They do not understand Krishna is God. One has to surrender to God, but they continue to challenge God and suffer. So, then, yeah. So, Maharaj also gave a beautiful purport to this. So, he said, the purpose of Krishna's coming is Vinashaya Dushkritam. That was facilitated by Jarasandh. But those who do not surrender to Krishna, what is their fate? Rukmi, though he was chasing Krishna when he took away Rukmini, he was utterly defeated by Krishna. And Rukmini pleaded, please don't kill Rukmi. So at that time, Krishna did not kill Rukmi. But what did Rukmi do? Rather than surrender to Krishna at that point, he actually took a vow, I will not go back to Kundinapur. And he actually made a city outside Kundinapur and he remained there preparing to defeat Krishna. So that is what Maharaj says, that those who are foolish, they embark on the path of challenging Krishna, not understanding what is their true constitutional position. So therefore, he says ultimately, this material world is made in such a way that every living entity has to go back. And so that is inevitable, to going back ultimately to Krishna. So it is better you go back in surrender rather than coming back again to suffer in this vicious cycle of life and death. So then, life and birth. So the plans of the Dushkritinos are baffled. Rukmi was defeated, but then he could not understand. So this is a beautiful way in which we can understand how this entire Leela of Krishna's, that is getting married to Rukmini. And we see that Krishna, not only, Rukmini was his first wife, but then how many wives did he have? 16,108 wives. Something which, if Guinness Book had their record period at that time, they would have entered it. But I think that time Guinness record book had not started. But now we know that Krishna is beyond all records. So therefore, he has showed that he is God, the Supreme Personality. And he gave individual attention to each of his wife. Not that because he was one person and there were so many, he could not attend to them. So that is invincible Krishna. And he is also inconceivable. You cannot catch him by your imagination, you cannot catch him by your logic, by your reasoning, by none of these things. So therefore again we come back to the same point. We have only one relation with Krishna, and that is surrender. But Krishna says, do not surrender to me out of fear, surrender in love. That is what I want. And that is why Krishna gives chance to the living entity again and again to voluntarily surrender to Krishna. And to voluntarily surrender to Krishna, what does one need? The quality of humility. And that is what Rukmini personified, the quality of humility. And therefore, as an offering, and just in a few words, I have tried to describe this quality of humility. So what is humility? If you are humble, you won't stumble. If you are rude, life will be crude. Ask for only what you deserve. God has plenty in His reserve. He is kind, please know His mind. He is your friend, in love to bind. Do your best and leave the rest. Depend on Him to pass the test. Rukmini's faith was tested, and in life our faith also will be tested. Worldly things only distract. Focus on Him, He will attract. One minute here. See Him with your eyes closed. You will find Him in your heart enclosed. Whether inside or outside, you will find Him always by your side. For one who does keep Him aside, from such a person's sight he will hide. Krishna, my Lord, you are so kind. The worldly insults you don't mind. For one who prays to you aloud, you pour your blessings like a cloud. From pride and envy, for one who is free, humility grows on his tree. Grateful to God, when you will be, your nature then will humble be. What goes out comes back in circle. Just stay humble, it's that simple. Call His names then from your heart, and a blissful journey you will start. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.